Hi, welcome back. I think the camera is situated correctly. Oh, apparently fucking not, bro. Okay. Hi, I'm back again. Back in the same room. I really like this room for the acoustics and how big the ceiling is. I am a big believer that your environment is a huge influential factor in how you think and feel and believe and create. And bigger, more open rooms kind of make me feel a little more open-minded and creative rather than a smaller room. A smaller room's more like for focusing and studying. So yeah, we're back. Hi. I press record to clearly talk about something, but as a common theme with many of my videos, I don't really have anything to talk about. Obviously, I'm doing this for myself and the channel, and my ability just to get video logs out, and so I want to prioritize that. There's someone else over. I don't know. It's kind of pissing me off, but I'm really struggling being sober. This shit sucks. I really hate being sober. Every fiber of my being wants to die. Every fiber of my being wants to just curl into a ball and wilt and die and burn. It sucks. It feels horrible. I have horrible thoughts. Everything is just, essentially. And the reason for kind of not relapsing, that's too strong of a word, but I almost grew frustrated and impatient with my sober self. I was sober for like 2.5, 3 months, and it just, I didn't feel much better, you know, which was really disappointing, to be honest. And me going back home for break really kind of facilitated me falling back on bad habits, but here we are, and now we're gonna try to redo that. And I think this goes into the theme that I want to put into this video, and it kind of feels like the story of my life sometimes, and that is just repeated failures. Repeated failures in the sense that you have a goal or an idea or a passion or something, and you spend years pursuing it. You spend years going towards that goal. You spend years being a part of something, and just over and over and over and over and over again, you just can't get the results that you want. And for me personally, this is happening on a lot of levels personally. And it's not fun, to say the least. I want to be a lot more articulated here, so this could be a good YouTube video, but this, in all honesty, is a video vlog for myself, so I don't really care about the viewership retention. I fail every day. Every single day I fail at something, at the day itself, at something I said I wasn't gonna do, at something I said I was going to do, something that I needed to do. Every day there's a failure that I feel like dominates the central narration of my head. And that's not a great way to live. And I think one of the first steps to overcoming that and revolving your mindset is to simply just change your narration, the self-talk, the self-behavior, the self-image. That is the number one way to fix your entire life, no matter the situation, to be honest. And with that comes with meditation and journaling. That is how you do that. That's how you fix that. But I get so much pain, so much mental pain is derived from simply the thought of doing tasks. And that does not feel normal. That feels like a mental issue. And, I hear about a lot with dopamine and your reward system and social media, and I'm sure that can 110% be an indicator or a cause. But this shit sucks, dude. I'm really trying to fix it. Like really trying to fix it, and yet every day kind of feels like the same, where I'm saying I'm trying to fix it and then just saying I'm going to do all these things and then just putting those things to tomorrow, and then you rinse and repeat those days. And I make this video to say I no longer want to do that. I no longer want to do that. It's not easy. I think it starts from 1% every day. Just, if you do tomorrow exactly the same way as you did today, except one added thing. I made my bed. I had an extra serving at lunch. I put in a little more effort on this one thing. I spent a little more time on this one thing. If you just do one of those things on that day, and then the next day just do one more thing, I think it's pretty simple and you build pretty quickly. But I have a lot of doubt with that, because my brain is already like, okay, if you have one thing on day one and two things on day two, then by day 5 you're gonna be like overwhelmed with the things you're trying to build on. And so my brain is already building this doubt, and fear. It's fear. It's building this fear, that I can't do it, that it won't work, and that I shouldn't be doing it. And that applies to a lot of like really menial tasks for me. And I kind of feel a little disabled. It just, 30 years ago, this should never be an issue, and I think that is really the advent of the iPhones and social media and just your short-term memory span and how you accumulate dopamine and disperse it, and just your lifestyle and the human lifestyle in the last 20 years has really played a huge part in what the fuck I'm kind of experiencing, because I know a lot of other people are experiencing this as well. I don't want to be alive. Genuinely. And I mean that so seriously. I really do. But at the same time, I'm still here, and that's really fucking annoying. If I don't want to be existing so badly, if I associate waking up with just pain and misery and suffering and failure all day, every day, constantly for months on end, years on end, why are you still here? It's a weird two-edged sword. And this is another theme of my life, is I have very strong opinionated opinions. I have very strong beliefs. I have very bolden mindsets and perspectives of things in life, and I feel like things should be done certain ways, and everyone has these systems and beliefs, right? I just don't respect them at all, and it's frustrating. It's that whole like, I'm going to do this and then I don't do it, and that's the main issue I'm experiencing. Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, at the same time, I know I'm going to be able to do, like, anything. In 2026, like, you're able to do whatever the fuck you want and make a killing doing it. And I think that's a large reason why I'm still here, is because in the end, I can feel, I can manifest, I can visualize myself 5-10 years from now in a phenomenal space, in a phenomenal environment with phenomenal people. I can feel that very strongly, and I think that's a large reason why I'm still here. And I now want to pivot this video as an outward message to repeated failures, to going about every day the same despite this constant want to do something else, this pain you derive from wanting to do homework, this guilt or fear or doubt, or this just chest feeling that you get when you're trying to do something, you're trying to do something, and your inner body, your heart just doesn't want it. And that can be a really disheartening thing, especially when you're going through that and other things, and trying to pursue things where the success isn't black and white and you can't really identify progress or goals. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm trying to be secretive about it, but I really like trading. I like day trading, and that's what I'm really trying to do. And I fail every fucking day, bro. I know, like, I'm so good at it mentally. I can feel the markets. I've been doing it for 2 years. I am these goddamn markets. I feel like these markets are a family member of me. I know these candlesticks. And every single day I fail in some capacity. And it might not be explicit failure, but it's what I deem as failure. And that's what is really emotionally challenging about trading, is there is no explicit success or failure apart from just the accumulation of capital. You can't really quantify how well you're doing in a small data set. But yet I fail every single day. And it's like, do I quit? When do I quit? Why am I going still? Why don't I throw in the towel and find something else? I fail every day. Do you know how many days it's been I failed? And like consecutively, genuinely? A lot. North of like 500 days that I have failed to a point where I am physically incapable of being in a good mood for the rest of the day. And yet, I still do it every single day. I still wake up before 9:30 market open every single day. When I was in California at home, I woke up at 6 a.m. every single goddamn fucking day to make that market open. And it's at the point now where it's been so long and there's been so much failure, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't even know why I'm doing it. And you're expecting me to make some grand point of to why it's worth it. But there really, really isn't one. And you just gotta find it. Or don't. Or you just fail. Or you fail so many times to the point where you can't afford to fail more and you have to pivot. You have to throw in the towel. And there is some success in an ultimate failure like that, like giving up on something, especially when you gave it your all, because that is the success. Your all is giving 100% effort. Regardless of an outcome, that is a success, being able to fully dedicate yourself. That should feel good, that should feel satisfying. This video is beyond disjointed. I know. I'm aware. I just want to succeed. I just want to win. And when I ask myself, why haven't I won? Why not me? I'm certainly deserving. One, you've already won 1,000,000 times over already. You've won in the game of life. You're alive. You've you've won in the family you've been given. You've won in the opportunities you've been given. You've won in being able to run sports in high school and then subsequently being able to run in college. That's a win. Like, you win in a lot of aspects like that you don't really realize because it's so rudimentary or it's almost given. Like, when I was in high school, I never really considered running in college. I just wanted to keep doing sports because I had been doing organized sports since I was 3 years old. But everyone around me, it was almost like I was already on a college team, the sense that everyone kind of had this idea that I was I was already in, you know? And so when it actually happened and I'm here and all that stuff, it never really felt like a win. It just felt like life, you know? And I almost just said graduation because I still consider graduation just this, oh, you just did the years. You just went through the motions, you know? I still don't perceive graduation as a win, even though it should be one of the biggest wins of your entire life, no matter what education level. And the reason why I don't see it as a win is because it's given to everyone. And it's kind of easy to accomplish, but yet it still is a win. It still is an amazing amount of effort you've put in. It's still an amazing amount of time you've put in. So you got to recognize little things like that. Being grateful for what you already have. You will never feel satisfied in any capacity if you don't sit down with yourself and write down what you're grateful that you possess right now. And it's that abandonment of external materialistic items that really builds contentment. Not happiness, but contentment. I want to win. I'm going to win. I'm saying it into this camera. I'm putting it out into the air that I'm going to win this year. And I'm going to win big. And I'm going to make it. And all the relentless grinding and the 1% better every day and the staying sober and the being consistent and just being able to put the work in and day out, regardless of how much it is or regardless of the intensity, it will pay off. So I leave you at that.